Hi, my name is Elizabeth Foster and I'm the founder of Connect Coach. And at Connect Coach, we connect expert coaches with clients. And today we are joined by one of our expert coaches and her name is Sarina Tomel. So good morning, Sarina.
Good morning, Elizabeth. Thanks for connecting with me today.
Yeah, thanks so much for joining us. So I just would like to find out a little bit more about you, your coaching style and your coaching business. So tell us what you actually specialize in.
Yes. So I am an empowerment mindfulness coach, and I work with my clients and students, right, to help them lift their fears, frustrations, their resistance, so they can embrace and expand their fierce, powerful, loving self, right, in the workplace, outside of the workplace, in relationships, all around. Yeah.
I like that. And I think that there are so many people that really need empowerment in their lives, and they might feel confident in some ways, but actually I really feel that empowerment just takes it to a whole nother level.
Yes, for sure. Definitely. It's coming from an inner self and finding ways to work through the blocks that are holding us back from what we truly desire. And so that we show up differently. And so it's pretty powerful when we learn to break down those barriers. Yeah, for sure.
That's great. I like that. So what actually led you to become a coach and specialize in this area?
Yeah, so it's been, I would say, like a natural progression. My background, I have a corporate background, a human resources background. I've been in the corporate world for 15 plus years, but I also have a crisis counseling hotline experience as well. And so that just, once I heard about coaching, I just knew it was like an intuitive calling. It just lit me up, and I was like, I need to go down that path. And I was already getting involved in employee relations in the workplace. So this goes back 10 years now. And so it was just a natural progression for me. And really, I've always felt empowered to really help others feel empowered. It's always felt like a calling to me to help them move through obstacles that are in their way. So.
Yeah, and I think it's so interesting. You talk about having a calling, and I think that's what makes a coach, really someone a little bit different and special. That's what brings that certain something to make them an exceptional coach. Basically, is when they feel within them that they've got that calling and they follow it. So I think that's a great attribute to have for yourself.
Thank you.
So we talk about empowerment coaching and but tell us a little bit, who would actually benefit from working with you, and why, what would you bring to them?
Yeah, so definitely there's two groups of people that I support. And the first group would be corporate professionals, all levels, right, because of my background in human resources. And then the second group is single women from 20 to 40, right, who are out there and looking to live more intentionally, add more adventure into their life, travel, and rather, they're willing to drop the excuses and they don't want to wait on their husband or partner to show up in their life, right? So that group of women, because I have been that person, right? Because I came out of a 7-year relationship when I was 30, and I found myself going on dating marathons and all of that, and feeling like I needed to find that person before I could travel again, and came to realize that wasn't the case. And through learning to love something I hated, which was running, right, that allowed me to take more risk and live more intentionally and more adventures into my life and travel the world fearlessly without having him in my life, though still keeping an open heart to allow him to come into my life. So.
I like that. I think that's so powerful. So you're obviously a very keen runner as well then.
Yes. I'm running more in the warmer months than the colder months, but yeah.
I don't blame you.
Keeping active, but running in the warmer months. Yeah. Spring through fall. Yeah.
Yeah, there we go. And probably much more fun running outside than it is just running on a treadmill inside.
Yes, for sure. Yeah. Running outdoors in the parks and nature. It's very invigorating, and it just allows me to connect to my inner self on a different level. I've worked out a lot of issues going out on just even short runs, right? So that's definitely been a tool that I use for myself for development. Yeah.
I think that's great. I think that's great. And actually, it's funny. I can really imagine. I'm not a runner myself, but I can really imagine. When you're out and you're kind of pounding through things, and I've heard it more than once. That capacity to really to process whilst you're running is actually quite powerful. And I can also kind of see it's like, hey, actually, you could go running with your clients. Have you ever done that?
No, I haven't. But hey, you never know. That could be something that could happen, right? You never know. People do all sorts of like retreats that, maybe I'm now a empowerment mindfulness running coach, right? With them out there. So giving them mantras along the way, because that's what usually comes up for me is mantras. And I just repeat them over and over again during the run. And it's amazing. It gets into the subconscious level and really shifts us on a deep level and shifts our life, our outer world as well. So.
Wow. And so tell us a little bit about the mindfulness. I mean, where did that come from, and what do you, how do you work with your clients with that?
Yeah. So the mindfulness, I mean, I've been into like meditation and all of that going back, probably 2010 or so, something like that, besides the running and the mantras and all of that. And so I got into it through guided meditations first, and then later on I found Kundalini meditation through several mentors of mine. And so I started to practice that, and prayer and meditation together. I've seen how it's shifted my life in so many ways. I've seen how it had helped me in terms of a health crisis I was going through. And so I had to surrender the how and when the healing would happen, and let go of the plan that I thought I needed to have in terms of when he would show up and when I would have children. Because when I was going through this health crisis, I was in my mid-30s. And so here I felt all this pressure and I had to release that. And so that's been a huge part of my own personal journey. And so I know that it can really lift you, not just day to day, but even when you're, depressed or having a health crisis or whatever is not going well for you. And so that's what I do. I work with people one-on-one, and I work with people in a group setting. And also I've done a corporate offsite type of engagement as well. We could talk more about that in a little bit, but in different ways where I'm showing them how to lift their fears and frustrations and resistance and embrace change and really work through whatever's coming up for them, right? Any blocks that are coming up for them through meditation, through mindfulness practices. And just working with them in that way and coming up with plans that seemed, more meaningful for them, right? And practical. It doesn't have to be overwhelming. So we don't want to do that. We know everybody's life is pretty complicated as it is day to day. And so we don't want to overwhelm them. Yeah.
Wow, I think it's fascinating. And I can really see that you are a very a deep person yourself and very committed to the work that you do and the work that you do with your clients. So I think that's wonderful. Sarina, you and I could carry on talking for a long time. I'm fascinated, and there's lots of questions I want to ask, and I'm sure that the listeners will also be fascinated. And I would highly recommend anybody that is wanting to know more about how they can empower themselves and how they can actually, use that mindfulness in their life to improve their life, to reach out and get in touch with you. But in the meantime, Sarina, thank you so much for joining us today, and I really look forward to working with you in the future.
Thank you, Elizabeth. I appreciate it. It was great connecting.
Yeah, thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Bye.